Welcome back, everybody, to Randall's Island, Field 21 for Game 1 of the ISAL playoffs. It is the semifinals, so if you win, you're in the finals. Mr. D, thank you so much for joining us again.
Always good to see you every day. Look forward to it. You've done a tremendous job all season, and I think you're going to call a good game today.
I appreciate it. We're looking for a good one. One ranked LREI faces Birch, who is ranked number 4 in the standings. Number 4 is the 4 out of 4. However, this team is 3-2 in league play, so it looks a little bit better on paper. What are you looking for from the team today?
Strong pitching performance from Harrison. I mean, he's our ace. If he pitches well, I think we have a good chance of winning. He's powerful, he's accurate, and anytime that we need him in a crunch, he's delivered. So I expect another outstanding performance from him. Their pitcher throws a bit of a curveball, gave us a little bit of a problem last game. Hopefully we'll step up into the box a little bit and be able to put the ball in play. If we do that, I think we come out with a victory, and then we go Thursday to, they don't call it MCU Park anymore, but that would be nice to play at the Mets minor league facility on Thursday.
So if we win, we go to the Brooklyn Cyclones Stadium in Brooklyn, Coney Island. It is a 7,000 capacity. Let's say we fill up 800, 300 at the max there. We need you there. You mentioned Harrison. In 4 games played this season in league play, he already has 34 strikeouts. What have you seen the improvement from him? Even though he had a great last season last year, this season he'd looked like the ace you needed.
Great question. Miles per hour. He's probably throwing 4 or 5 miles harder than he did last year. It makes a difference. His accuracy is impeccable. And like I said, he's the sort of person you want. In a big game like this, he's our ace, and I expect him to perform well today.
Harrison on the mound once again, but we'll be back for the call. I'm William Rosen. We'll see you then.
Great to see you, Will.
Thank you. Number 4 seed, BWL, faces the number 1 seed, LREI Knights, in a semifinal matchup to go to the championship. LREI, BWL, starts now. Welcome back, everybody, to Sports BWL. I'm William Rosen, as we are here for the ISAL baseball semi-finals between number 1 ranked LREI and number 4 ranked BWL on Randall's Island. We have a fun one in store for you today, as this game will determine who moves on to Coney Island. Only one game for Birch and LREI to prove themselves worthy in the hands of the pitching. Harrison is on the mound. Can he do it? Can they get to Coney Island? That is the question that will be answered. LREI, BWL, starts now. We welcome you back to Randall's Island for the first game and last game before the possible championship. We're in Randall's Island for the ISAL Semi-Finals versus LREI. Jackson to lead us off against LREI. First pitch is low for a ball. I'm by myself today, so I'll be responsible for everything you see and hear. We hope you're having a fine day. It's a beautiful one here, 77 degrees, as that's high for a ball. 77 degrees, very sunny. A few clouds in the sky, but not going to complain about that. It's a little bit toasty on this one. It's 3-0. And Jackson. 3-1. Jackson. He swung. It's a full count. As that's rocketed into right field and caught by the center fielder. Jackson goes down with some nice contact, as that'll bring up the second hitter of the day for Birch. Mackie Savage. Mackey's batting .200 on the season. He has 10 walks as well. He leads the team, one short of Hugo with 11. As that's outside for Savage. Savage next year will be entering his first year of high school, but it doesn't matter as he's made a impactful impact so far this season, as that's a foul ball. Mackey, shorter, so he has a fluid stance, as that's a foul ball. Right down the third base line for Savage. He'll go back. In left field for LREI, number 21, alongside number 11. And on the far side is number 20. Number 20. Savage, another opportunity. 2 strikes. As Savage strikes out. A little ephus pitch by the pitcher. Dash is our pitcher this afternoon for LREI, as that'll bring up Harrison Milowitz. Milowitz rocking number 41 today. He'll be on the mound. Milowitz, that's inside for strike 1. Milowitz hasn't had exactly what he wants on the batting end this season, batting a not so great 1.54, but he is making it up incredibly on the mound, as in 4 games he has 34 strikeouts over 3 starts and 1 relief appearance. Milowitz looked like a balk, but they're not going to call it. That's low. Dash up to 13 pitches. And that's a strike right down the middle. Harrison takes. That'll make it 2-2. This game gives both teams a chance to advance to Coney Island. We'll hear a little bit more about what that means after this inning, as it's a drop third strike. Will it matter? Yes, it does, as Harrison reaches first on a drop third strike. Harrison keeps the inning alive after a bad throw by the catcher. Allows him to reach first base. And that'll bring up Andrew Kaplan, who has looked phenomenal in his first and unfortunately last season, as he's a senior. He'll be attending Northeastern University. Andrew has batted a phenomenal .455 on the season with 5 hits and 2 doubles. That's a strike right down the middle. Kaplan, this is a field with a fence, so in his possible last game, hopefully not, can he hit a home run? Harrison is on first, and Andrew at the bat. Andrew rockets it right to me. I'll get it. No, I won't. It went right behind me. It went over my foot. AK, 2 strikes. Harrison on first. That was foul ball. AK. And that's a foul ball way into the other field. Working dash, number 6, some pitches after an error by the catcher. Landon's going to go retrieve that one. As AK fouls another one. Right to Coach D. And I'll take that one. I'm 1 for 1 on the season for putouts, as I did a laser to number 23. Harrison on first, 2 strikes to Andrew Kaplan. AK stays in it. Andrew, a resilient at-bat, has worked very hard to get the pitch count up for the pitcher dash. This might not actually be dash, my mistake. This may be another player, which I will find out at the half-inning mark. As I have number 6 pitching, and this is number 4 as AK lost one, another foul ball into the next field. Not that many balls, so Landon once again will retrieve them. AK working this at bat. Milowitz reached on an error. AK and heads. As another foul ball from Kaplan. Mr. Foul Ball. What's the pitcher's name? Ian? My mistake. The pitcher's name is Ian, not Dash. We'll get that changed, as that's low, and Harrison will stay put at first. Ian, not Dash. My mistake. I'm going to blame that one on Brett Roberts, who inputted the starting lineup. Shout out to Brent, number 99. The pitch, and another foul ball for Andrew Kaplan. Has worked Ian up to 25 pitches. Kaplan, another chance. 2 outs. Man on first. As a good eye by Kaplan. 2-2. This is a phenomenal at-bat so far. Last game of the season, no matter what happens on Randall's Island. It's treated me well in my possible last game. Hopefully not. As that's upstairs, full count for Kaplan. As that'll release the runner, Harrison Milowitz. We'll go to the Sables ultra-wide cam for this one. Kaplan rocks it, as that is foul. That'll reset the full count, 3-2. Ian is up to 28 pitches. We return to the Sables ultra-wide cam. As that's a phenomenal at-bat from Andrew Kaplan. He works a phenomenal, I keep saying it, many pitch at-bat. Works Ian up to 29 pitches. "14 pitch at-bat for Andrew Kaplan. As that loads Milowitz onto second. And it brings up Hugo, the Maggio man. Hugo. Strike 2. Hugo batting .375 coming into this one. Also a phenomenal pitcher this season. And that'll do it for the half inning. No runs, no hits, and an error for LREI, as we'll take it to the bottom of the first. We return to action as number 11 will lead off for LREI. As Harrison takes the mound once more, as I've been saying this whole season, Harrison has looked phenomenal. I mentioned 34 strikeouts over 4 appearances, as that's a major foul ball. Hits the train, and will bounce back. First strike for Harrison. That's upstairs, 1-1. As that's smoked over to left field into foul territory, and Andrew does not see it. That is 0-2. Good effort by Kaplan. Foul ball. Milowitz. His first strikeout of the day. Bumped that up to 35 in-league strikeouts. Milowitz strikes him out. Oliver up to bat now. As that's a strike. T drops it, but doesn't matter. Harrison. That's upstairs for Oliver. That's a strike. 1-2, well, there's the count. We have some name number issues, which we will try and fix. As that's another strikeout for Harrison. Right down Broadway, but too fast to handle for LREI as he strikes out the next night. 2 outs, no men on in the bottom of the first for Milowitz. Coming up to bat now is number 23, Xander. 23, if you remember from the last game we played against LREI. A little bit having some fun, a little cocky. As 0-1. Milowitz. 0-2. Foul tip into the glove. As Milowitz trying to work a efficient 11 pitch. Or even 12, as that's a ball. 11 to 12, 13 pitch. Half inning. Milowitz looking for the K. Milowitz doesn't get it. 2-2. Xander, Milowitz, as that's put into a nice play by Andrew Kaplan. A dive, and it'll end the inning. Andrew Kaplan, is it Superman or is it Andrew? We'll see you in the top of the second. A heck of a catch by AK. What a catch from Andrew Kaplan as he saves a possible double or even triple. As leading off now for the Lions is the designated hitter of this afternoon, Sam Markowitz. That catch has been the best catch I've seen in 2 years of covering Birch sports, Birch baseball, if you will. As Markowitz trying to improve, as that's a foul ball. Right over here. Andrew Kaplan, how do you do? Markowitz. 1-2 on Marco. Markowitz gets the shade while the pitcher gets the sun. Markowitz will strike out. A little bit of a weak chop on that one. As 1 out in the bottom of the second. Top of the second, my mistake. It's getting real toasty over here in Randall's. But it doesn't matter as this is a... Oh, running out. It hit the batter. Doesn't matter. It did hit him, so it doesn't matter. Would have been out anyway. As that was Nate Spiegel, which will bring up the first baseman this afternoon, John Burke. John, a surprise season behind, I don't even know what expectations, as he's hitting .308 with 2 doubles this season. 4 walks for Mr. Burke. John trying to get something going. 2 outs, top of the second. My mistake. John rackets one! A single for John Burke, where John is looking sharp already. John Burke, where fantasy becomes reality. John Burke, who would have thought? That'll up his batting average. A single right down the third baseline brings up Tobias Cloner. We'll take a look at the Sables Ultra Wide Cam. First hit of the day for John Burke and first hit of the day for the Lions, as T will take a strike. John has gotten some hard hit balls down third so far this season in pivotal time. Will they release him? I highly doubt it, as T swings and miss. 0-2 on T with John on first. As that's a swing and a miss. No runs, a hit from John Burke, and 1 left stranded as John makes some good contact and hits a single. Scores 0-0. We'll be back. We return to the bottom of the second inning as Harrison returns to the mound. First pitch, a strike for Harrison. Harrison in the last couple of games has looked like the Harrison that has made a case to be the best player that Birch has seen in many years. First game off the bench, non-league, wasn't the best from him, but since that game, Harrison has come out and shown us and proved us wrong. Harrison has looked like the all-star that this team needed. They always rely on their pitching, and that's exactly what Harrison is going to do. I mentioned a little earlier that this game decides who goes to Coney Island, as that's just inside. They will be playing at the Brooklyn Cyclones Stadium, a capacity of 7,000, a minor league stadium. As that's just inside, but they'll count it as Harrison works another strikeout. Harrison looking hot. Coney Island would mean something for this school, I tell you. I would be unbelievably happy and unbelievably thrilled to be able to attend that game. We fill up, 600 seats. That's a game you don't want to miss. And that depends on what happens here today, as that's a strike. That's upstairs. 1-1. That's inside. Strike. Right down the middle. Pitcher Ian up to bat, as that's a foul ball. Milowitz working efficient, as he is proven himself to do. Milowitz just outside for the umpire's liking. That's upstairs. In the field today, we have Hugo on third base, John Burke at first. Spiegel at second. Shortstop being manned by Mackey, as that is the first walk of the day for Harrison. And I'll put a man on first base. In the field, we have the designated fielder, Andor Fisher, in right field. In center, Jackson and Great play so far in left field, Andrew Kaplan, as Harrison tries to get out of this inning, as that's a deep ball. That'll drop. Plays to second, but they will hold it. That'll drop just under Andor, as that'll put men on 2-1. Milowitz trying to get out of a little bit of a jam here. That's a strike. Milowitz, that's upstairs. Ooh, I don't know about that. Milowitz not pleased. It's a ball. Swing and a miss. And that'll retire him. Milowitz, another strikeout. Two outs. Man on first and second in the second inning. Ooh, a nice breeze with some shade added. That's a strike as the batter moves back. That's another strike. Low, but they'll call it. 0-2. Looking to get out of this inning with another strikeout. Milowitz steps off. He'll recollect. Milowitz, the pitch. Milowitz struck him out. He works out of the jam as two runners are stranded on first and second, but Milowitz is no match. We'll return for more after this. And we return for some more baseball. The top of the third inning. So far, so good for the pitching. Both teams, to be precise. Harrison has looked sharp, and so has Ian, number 4 for LREI. So this looks like it'll be a defensive battle between the two semifinalists. As so far in this one, Harrison has 5 strikeouts for Milowitz. As I'm going to respectfully ask Mr. D to move to my right after this pitch. Jackson. That's a strike. Mr. D. D. Thank you. 0-1 on Jackson, who has a number change today. Rocking number 17. The pitch. As that swung on, put into play, bobbled. And it doesn't matter, as Ian works around a little bit of a mishap with his glove. It doesn't matter, as he throws a bullet to first to retire Kirstein. Coming up to bat now is Mackey. 10 walks in the season, trying to get on base here. And these stats are all, of course, in league play. Mackey, that's a foul ball. Landon will get that one. Mackey, put on, in play, and a nice scoop by number 23 as he'll get him. Nice play by 23 on the field and the throw. As that'll bring up number 41, Harrison Milowitz, the pitcher. 5 strikeouts. Trying to do the inverse here. Milowitz. That's low. 2 outs in the top of the third inning here on field 21. Ooh, that was low, but they're going to call it a strike, 1-1. That just is outside. 2-1 on Milowitz. The pitch bounces. 3-1. School year is coming to a close as AP tests have begun. The pitch, full count for Harrison. AP tests have started. As this year is wrapping up, it has gone quick, and it has been one to remember, both the school side and the sports side, as Harrison rockets one, and a single for Milowitz. Harrison, a hard hit ball, just like John Burke, will get him aboard, and it'll bring up Andrew Kaplan. Milowitz reaches on a hard hit single. Two hits for Birch. Courtesy runner for Harrison will be Mr. Mackie Savage, as pitchers and catchers both get courtesy runners. That'll have Andrew Kaplan, Mr. Rocketman. AK rockets one as it deflects. This could be trouble. Deflects off the third baseman as Andrew Kaplan reaches a double, a deflection. It'll move Savage to third, AK with a double or a single with an error. Up to the scorekeeper today, Brent Roberts' interpretation. Well, let's see what he scores at Andrew Kaplan. A rocket. Starships were meant to fly for AK. And on second and third with 2 outs, Hugo Maggio, as that's a pass ball. Nobody will move. 1-0 on Maggio. Andrew Kaplan, a smackaroo, and that'll move the courtesy runner on Harrison's hit over to third. As there's a pickoff here, and he's out. D is not happy with that, as Savage, a base running error, will cost him 2 hits, no runs, 2-man stranded. We'll be back for the bottom of the third. We return for another half inning of play on Randall's Island with a special guest as Harrison throws a strike. Mr. Jenkins, welcome aboard.
I'm glad to be here with you, Mr. Rosen.
We saw, as that's a foul ball up high to the next field, an unfortunate way to end that previous half inning as Mackey was picked off. I think they threw behind him, and it was too late to get back as it's 0-2 early, as that bounces in for a ball, 1-2. Mr. Jenkins, basketball is your forte, but I know you're an avid baseball fan.
Definitely.
What would it mean to this school if we get to Coney Island?
Be really special. It's been an amazing year.
Sorry to interrupt. The ball is put into play as Harrison makes the play to John Burke. Continue, please.
It's been an amazing year for the school and the direction the school is going in with the new administration. So for our student athletes to have an opportunity to play at such a pristine location would be paramount.
2 championship games in 2, if I want to say the main team sports at BWL, team sports with spectators, probable attendance. Of course, we have some great sports here, but I want to say the 2 sports, basketball, both men and women, and baseball, that fans can appreciate. As Harrison is working a beauty here that could all but enhance their possibility of making it into Coney Island.
Absolutely. Now, you've seen the team play a lot of games this season. What would you say if you had to summarize the season? I know we're in the postseason as we speak, but if you had to summarize the regular season, what would you say?
Well, I'll give you 2 words. Harrison Milowitz. This man has pitched an unbelievable season. In league play, I mentioned it already, 4 games, 3 of which were starts. The first game he played was coming off in relief appearance, as that's upstairs. In 4 games, he has 34 strikeouts, excluding today, which he already has 5.
Really impressive. You know, his nickname is the Boy Wonder.
As another strike, one more for another strikeout, the Boy Wonder. I call him the Milowitz Man, or Harry Houdini.
Harry Houdini. Cute, very cute.
Cute? Sure.
What would we do without you in 17 days? William Rosen, along with Hugo.
As that's a strike. Another strikeout for the Milowitz Man, as he has worked a beauty.
Yes, in 17 days we lose Andrew Kaplan, we lose Hugo Maggio, and we lose Jonathan Burke, and we lose you, William Rosen. What are we going to do without you, big guy?
Well, I mean, it's been a privilege and a pleasure to be here for as long as I have, especially with the program that I humbly would say I have done a decent job with. I don't like to say that often, but I really appreciate your guidance, Mr. D's guidance, and everybody's assistance over the last few years with this. So I wanted to let you know, as that's upstairs.
I forgot my captain. I would be remiss. I forgot Tobias Clonus, the starting catcher also.
Upstairs.
Well, I think throughout your tenure, let me be candid here. I think throughout your tenure here at Birch, you've been amazing, and the senior class has been an absolute pleasure for your 4 years at Birch, but particularly your senior year.
I appreciate that. And it's true, my class, I think, has been one of the better classes we've had in a long time. In my 13 years, I wouldn't have rather been anywhere else. Let's see if Harrison wants to be somewhere else, as that's upstairs. Full count. I got to say, one thing that has struck me this season is kind of the low-key nature coming off of last year. You know, the class, that's a hit Tobias. He's all right. Take off the mask. Last year's class of 22, a little more, cockiness, a little step in their pep. You had Rosen stock, a little low-key. You had, who else? You had Sam Weiss. You also had, you can't forget,
Jack Schulman.
Jack Schulman, of course, Carrasco. A little more, moody and attitude. Whereas this team, you have a lot of underclassmen and underclassmen, 3 8th graders. Correct. 2 8th graders, 1 7th grader, actually. As that's just outside for the umpire's liking, as Harrison will work a walk.
He hasn't given up a lot of walks in at least today's game. I think maybe his second, what we call bathroom pass for the day there, William.
Statistically speaking, that is his second walk of the day with 6 strikeouts.
See, Coach Jay is actually paying attention.
As the runner's going, T, a little late. I don't think they've gotten one pickoff this season on a steal to second.
Okay, so that means Harrison has to pitch strikes and get out of this inning.
2 outs, so no force at first. Let's see if they can keep this in the air, or as he's going to third.
Got him.
No, just short. As that was a little high, but also a good lead there. So anything possibly on the ground doesn't matter. 2 outs, so they don't have to worry about that. They need to keep it low key, make sure they make the right play to first. And I'd say Tobias has to make sure that if it gets behind him, as that's a up in the air. Is it in play? No, it's to the school bus. Oh! What did that hit? That hit the bus?
hit the light pole probably.
Oh, wow.
And came back.
For the first time, it actually hit the train upstairs.
Yeah, I saw it. Those fans got a great souvenir in the upper deck there.
the Acela deck.
The Acela deck. Yes. Very cute there, William.
As strike.
That's strike 2 there, William. That's strike 2.
2-2 for number 23, Xander, who made a nice play in the field. Let's see if Harrison can get out of this. Harrison. Ooh.
Ball put in play.
And that'll score a run. As Xander works an RBI single into shallow right field. Andor can't ask for anything. Couldn't get there. Not anybody's fault.
Yeah, late jump on that ball and CNI single got there. First run put on the board.
1-0 in favor of the LREI Knights. I believe it's the Little Red School, is what I've been told.
You're absolutely right.
As he's going, throw over, a little wonky, but it'll get there at least. As so far they've stolen 4 or 5 bases in this game. Tobias doesn't have the arm, but he has played very well defensively, at least catching. Last year he was the substitute. Once the injury, he's out here. I think he was out.
I beg to differ.
I'll put this in slow-mo in editing. I think he was out.
Might have to rewind that one, William. I beg to differ on that one.
Harrison steps off. Big lead from Xander, who in the previous game I mentioned was a little bit cocky, getting his team riled up. And I think our team took notice of that, as that's plummeted, and the route isn't there. That'll score another run. AK running onto it, and that'll be just a double, luckily. I don't know. It seemed like that could have been a lot more. It'll score another run, 2-0 LREI, as a double is worked in their favor.
I think I was more effective there, William, behind the plate, barking at the boy wonder than here in the booth. If they execute another run, I might have to
return
to sender.
Oh, man. AK, another great play.
Oh, what a play.
2 great
and
catches.
A play to get us out of that inning. That's AK-47, senior. He's graduating in 17 days.
2 great catches. 2 runs scored, however, from LREI, as we'll head to the bottom of the order. I believe it's Nate or John. We'll be back. Mr. Jenkins, will you join us for another half inning?
Sure.
Great. You get to see at bats. We'll be back. We return as it's actually the middle of the lineup, as Hugo will get another chance. Picked off was Savage, so he'll get another chance at bat. Maggio, LREI leads 2-0. That's a high foul ball into the... I don't even know where that went. I think it went back after it hit the undercarriage of the Acela Bridge. Hugo, lefty, Hobart. 0-1 on Hugo, the pitch, as that's swung on. That's a ball, as we are returned once more by Mr. Jenkins. Thank you again for joining us.
Yeah, no problem at all. We got to get our rally caps going. Had to try to go into the dugout and try to motivate the troops a little bit.
As Hugo goes down on strikes, swing and a miss for the Maggio man. It'll bring up the designated hitter, Sam Markowitz, as it is already Ian's 25 plus 30. That is around Ian's 55th or 57th pitch.
Now, Markowitz, I heard earlier in the season, hit a blast.
Well, he hit a triple, and want to know an interesting, cool fact? He actually leads the team in batting average, batting .615 in league play.
Okay, I like to hear that, especially with him up at the plate, and that would explain why he is the DH.
Markowitz Oh, a nice eephus little pitch there. Just gets inside for the pitcher Ian, number 4 on LREI. Markowitz trying to get this ball in play at least. Reach first. As that's a foul ball into the next field.
Oh, they didn't make the Acela line.
No,
didn't
it
make
did
the
not.
Acela
The
deck.
Acela deck. And then I think one more past that is the, what would this be? This would be the Ward balcony.
Yeah, the Ward balcony. Very cute.
Ian, the pitch. That's outside. Markowitz, good eye. Markowitz is very particular about his pitches. He likes inside and up rather than low and outside.
Okay.
As that was upstairs, swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was a bad hack at that one.
As Markowitz
I expected a little more from him on
is
that one.
retired. That'll bring up Nate Spiegel, batting in the 7th spot, batting .333 coming into this one.
That's the rookie. He's taking my 8th grade health class. Need I say any more to you?
I don't think so. As that's upstairs, Spiegel trying to get a healthy swing on this one. That went over your head. And just like, what else goes over your head? The Acela. Ian has pitched a very nice game so far. Ooh. Just outside. Spiegel, picky. Spiegel.
I might have stepped into the batter's box on that one.
That's upstairs. 3-0 for Spiegel, trying to reach first, and that would bring up John Burke, trying to bring him home. John has had a nice couple of games.
He has.
He's had a lot of singles that go right down the third base line. Can he have another chance? Not right yet, as that's a take. It looks like it was a red light.
Absolutely.
Red light by Coach D.
Yep.
As John has put together a nice couple of games hitting.
He has.
After his first career hit game, he had 3 of them.
Wow.
That would be, I believe, 3 games ago. I think he's had a hit in every game -1 since.
Well, hopefully the rookie can get on base here.
Spiegel, will he take? Yes, he will. As that's
That's
low.
a free pass there, free bathroom pass, and we'll take it. Get the run on first.
And that'll bring up the great Bambino, his son, John Burke. Will fantasy look at Danny. Danny Burke is excited to see his son go.
He's
BWL
already pumping the fists over there.
Alumni and part of the alumni board.
It's actually the president of the
president of the alumni board.
Yes.
Let's see if John can get something as the Acela goes by. Oh, that looked low, but that's a strike. Let's see if John gets another one of his line drives. This could be a steal or a hit and run, but I don't think they're going to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, they are going to do it.
You got to send him. He's got some speed, the young kid. You got some speed, and you got to start gambling a little bit. We're behind, and you got to try to change the momentum. You know that from basketball
Of course I do.
season.
0-2 on Burke. Spiegel reaches safely at second. John trying to enhance the Coney Island chance.
And there's the speedster on second.
John, 0-2.
Trying to get this pitcher a little bit out of his rhythm, his comfort zone.
Trying to stay in this one. John smokes it. And a nice pick there. And the throw is good. That's a nice fielding play by number 7, the third baseman. In other games, that could have been an error. But John gets unlucky as Nate steals second. No runs, a walk, and no errors. One man is left on base. We'll return for more action in a moment. Mr. Jenkins, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We welcome you back to Randall's Island as Harrison takes the mound once more. We are in the 4th inning, the bottom of the 4th inning to be exact. 2-0 LREI. We thank Mr. Jenkins for joining us as that's upstairs. It all relies on the bats now. Can the bats get hot for Birch? Pitching has been sufficient, but it's now time for the wood to go on to the ball, as that's a foul ball. The pitch is a strike. Strike 2. 1-2 for Dash. Number 6, this is Dash. That's upstairs. And that is a foul ball put into play. John, can he make it? No, it hits a tree. He was tracking it, though. Harrison trying to get another strikeout. That's upstairs. That's a walk. Dash works a walk. Milowitz will step off. He'll step off once more. And that'll get past T and allow the runner to move to second. Not what you want right now. Momentum has staggered a little bit for the Lions. That's a strike. Getting back on the path for Milowitz. Milowitz will step off with the runner at second base. And that's inside. In the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 LREI. 2 strikes on the batter. And a strikeout. Milowitz gets another. Pardon my porous whistle. As that'll bring up the next batter for LREI. Ty was the one who struck out. Next batter, number 7, and he is safe. I really like what they've been doing on the pickoff moves. I feel like Spiegel has gotten a better feel for what's going to happen after the throw is delivered. His tags have been more on point, and the timing has been more accurate. And a strike. And he's out! Hugo, a wonderful tag, gets the back of number 6. The Maggio man strikes again. Hugo, how do you do? A tag on the back. A strike and a throw him out. Tobias to the Maggio man. Hugo, looking sharp. Gotta commend him. It's not easy to make those plays, as that's another strike. 0-2. 2 outs. Milowitz trying to get out of this one with some help from the fielders. Milowitz. Oh, that could have been called, but that was a little high. Andrew supporting him from left field, excuse me. The pitch from Milowitz is high, and that is a foul ball. That was a heck of a play by the Maggio man. 2 great plays in the field. Hugo and Andrew respectively so far in this one. As the pitch from Milowitz struck him out. Hugo, a phenomenal tag, and Harrison, another K. The bats need to be swinging, and that's what they'll try and do in the top of the 5th. This is for Brooklyn. We are not in Arizona, but it is time for Iced Tea, trying to get the bats to work, and let's see if he can do it. He has been the savior for this team and basketball. Can he get them to the championship game with a hit here, as that's a bouncer way, way too short for T's liking and for our liking here on the island. D. The pitch is low. Two and 0 for Tobias. And that just hits the box. God bless you. Someone had let out a major sneeze, as it's 2-1 on Cloner. Swung on and missed, 2-2. After this, we'll go back to the top of the lineup with Jackson, as that's a strike 3. Another strikeout for Ian, who's looked phenomenal today. Jackson trying to get on base. Top of the 5th for Jax. We have last year member Bo Blackstop, or as I used to call him, Bo Beauregard, the backstop. He was the hockey goalie. Bo is in the building from Wake Forest as that drops low, cheering on his high school and his school, which he attended for 13 years. Fellow 13 club member. The pitch from Ian to Jackson. A little bit of a lob, but that gets right over the plate. 1-1. People are out and about on the island. First time I've seen it this year. Walking. It's a beautiful day for a nice walk or bike ride. As Jackson puts that into play. A nice play. Bobbles it. And he's out. Good defense today by the third baseman. Unlike other teams we've seen so far, these throws are accurate and precise. As that'll bring up Mackey. Mackey ran into a little bit of a running error earlier in this one, as he was caught in a rundown between third and home. He was out, but he is trying to make up for it. And he does! Mackey rakes one into center field, and he'll reach on a bomb into center field. 2-0 them. 2-0 Red LREI. Mackey continues this one. Coming into this, Mackey was batting a 200, so increasing that average with every hit. Milowitz has a hit this game, trying to get at least one run home. 2 outs, 2-0 LREI. We'll take a look at the Sables ultra wide cam for this one. And that's upstairs for Milowitz. Milowitz rocking 41. And he's going. And he is safe. Savage is safe. Speedy, speedy man he is. Time is called with a runner in scoring position. Harrison trying to get one home. Crowd has heavied here on Randall's Island with a lot of Birch supporters in the stands here. We appreciate you for coming out. As a strike. 0-2, correction 1-2 for Harrison Milowitz. And the pitch. Swung on and hit hard to the left fielder. And a routine play for number 21 as some nice contact, but won't get anything home They need to start picking it up. Will Harrison continue his madness? We'll be back for the bottom of the fifth. We're back for some more Harrison on the mound, as that's a strike. It is the bottom of the fifth inning. Here for Harrison, as that's hard hit to Harrison, bobbles it, but makes the play to John Burke at first base. One man retired. One man out. Number 11 up to bat for LREI. That's a strike. Harrison, an efficient inning so far. Milowitz. He went. That was a subpar swing from number 11. Oh, and 2 for Milowitz, trying to get another strikeout. Time is called. And that's exactly what he does. AK, a nice route, but won't get there. AK plays it nicely. As AK cut it off nicely. However, a hard hit double, which was called. Maggio instinct.
That's right.
One out. And that was a hard hit double. Played very nicely by Andrew. I'll give him the credit there. As that's a strike. Ben, number 11, hit that. A hard hit ball into left center field. Swung on and missed. Harrison, 0-2. One out. One man on second base. And that's a ball. Milowitz. He goes. As the pitch is not on target, or Hugo couldn't make the catch. It'll advance the runner to third base with one out. 2 strikes on the batter, Oliver. And that's a strikeout. Dropped there, got to play that correctly. He's safe. As the throw is high. Drop third strike allows the runner to go to first. T did play it correctly. He waited to see what 11 was going to do, but it was high as John couldn't make the catch. Drop third strike as D will go out to talk to his pitcher. And we'll be back after he is complete. Mound visit complete by Coach D as Harrison with 2 men on with 1 out. Xander, no throw. That'll advance the runner to second and third, respectively. Xander trying to assist with some insurance for LREI. That's his goal, but the goal for Harrison is to get that man out. That's a foul ball. 1-1 on Xander. Xander, I presume, short for Alexander. If not, Xander on its own. The pitch from Milowitz is in there, 1-2. The pitch is upstairs. 2-2 on Xander for LREI. That's low, and it's a full count. A walk, and it loads the bases. A strikeout is what Harrison is looking for. The pitch. And swung on and missed. Harrison. Dangerous time for LREI, but Harrison puts that one away as he just needs one more out to get out of this inning. Still with a 2-0 advantage for LREI, but danger could have been approaching there. Still not done here, as batting now is looks like a power hitter. 12 would be Dennis. Harrison, 92 pitches, so if he gets out of this quickly, 2 balls here, he could possibly finish this game, which would be needed. But that all depends on what happens here. 2-0. 2 men on. Second and third. 1-2. 2-1 count. Harrison. That's swung on. Oh, and that throw is errant. That throw is errant by Savage, as that will score 2 runs. That is just outside the reach of John Burke, as Savage not happy with himself on that one, just outside of the wingspan of John Burke. It was either get the ball or stay on base, and neither of that happened. 4-0, LREI. That's a strike. The crowd has got a little quiet here. 4-0. Routine play. Can't win them all. As that's smacked in play. And that drops. But he's out. He's out. As the runner comes home, tagged by T. 2 runs will score. As it's 4-0 LREI with 2 more half innings to prove themselves. We'll be back for Birch. As this one's far from over, as 2 more innings for the bats to be swinging. AK is up to bat now. A little bit of an obstruction here by D. D? He's not hearing me right now. As that's smacked by AK. But right to the left fielder. Good contact there by Andrew, but just under it. Bring up Hugo. Hugo and then Markowitz. And if we get to Spiegel, 1 out. That's upstairs. In the top of the 6th inning. 4-0 LREI. Bats have not been swinging this game for the Lions. Pitch. Swung on and missed. D. Hugo up to bat as that's low. Swung on. 2-2. D. Can't hear me. Don't blame him. Hugo. Swung on, and that's cracked. Right to the second baseman. The shortstop. Xander. As 2 men are retired for the Lions, it'll bring up the designated hitter. Sam Markowitz. On deck is Spiegel, followed by John and Tobias Kloner. And the pitch for Markowitz. That's low. 1-0. Train is running. That's swung on and foul. Fair. They're saying it's a fair ball. They're saying it's a fair ball. And it's a ground rule double. Fair ball into the outfield. And that goes to the right of the fence into the bridge little outpost post as Markowitz reaches second on a ground rule double. That'll bring up Nate Spiegel. Oh, and 1 on Spiegel. Markowitz. Let's see if they send Markowitz here. 0-2 early on for Spiegel. 2 outs with Markowitz, who has provided an unbelievable at-bat and an unbelievable bat this season. Something to look forward to next year for Coach D. That's outside, and Markowitz will advance. Markowitz on third base. Markowitz on third base. Spiegel trying to get him home, get a run in the top of the 6th inning. And he'll stay in it. 1-2, 2 outs for Spiegel. With Markowitz, the runner on third base, trying to get 1 run home. Spiegel stays in it. That is upstairs. Bench is liking this one, this at bat from Spiegel, as it's 2-2 now. Swung on and missed. Spiegel strikes out as 1 hit, no runs, and Markowitz is left on third base. They'll have 1 more opportunity as Birch sends back out Harrison. We'll be back for some more Millowitz magic. We're back for the bottom of the 6th inning as that's put into play. Millowitz. He's out. Millowitz return to sender and return it to John Burke for the out. 1 out. For the bottom of the 6th inning, we'll have 1 more half inning to put some magic into making it to Coney Island. As Millowitz has an out the easy way. 1 out. That's upstairs. Millowitz, 100 pitches with that last pitch. Has really pitched a good game. Got to give credit to Harrison. Harrison. That's inside, moving the runner away from the ball. Excuse me, the batter away from the ball. That's a strike. 1-2 on. My apologies. A quick little technical difficulty. It was a. Jackson calls. And that'll do it, as while we were away from the camera with a technical difficulty, a little bloop right in front of the home plate as T throws over to John, and you saw Jackson make that catch. All right, this is the season. A half inning will keep it here. It is the top of the 7th. 7 innings are played in this high school baseball, and we are away, so this is it. Coming up to bat is the one, the only, I believe it is, we'll see in a moment who's up to bat. Pep talk is being made. The winner goes to Brooklyn to play in a 7,000 capacity stadium. The Cyclones, the Mets, the resonance there. The Lions are trying to be a team that has been there like no other. This is the season once more. An athletic season like no other. Birchwath and Lennox basketball championship states. Birchwath and Lennox baseball semifinals. This is for all the marbles here. 4-0. LREI, John Burke up to bat. Let's see if he can get this run across and keep them going. John takes low, ball 1. John takes another, 2-0. Staying in this one. That's a good take by John. 2-1. 4-0 LREI. John smacks it. And a bad bounce. John, a single to his usual spot. John Burke gets on base where fantasy is no longer fantasy. It is reality. Ice-T is up to bat. John reaches first base. Can they continue this magical season? Let's see what Ice-T can do. Tobias Kloner up to bat. And that is upstairs. That is upstairs. 2-0 for Tobias. We'll take a look at the Sables ultra-wide cam for possibly the last time this season. Hopefully not. And that is low. (3-0) for Tobias. John Burke sits at first. 3-1. That's a good take by Tobias. Let's see if he'll take again. Tobias puts it in play. And no one's there. That'll reach. Tobias gets on to first. Lackadaisical effort by LREI as no outs, with John at second and Tobias at first. That'll call for a mound visit. This is exciting. No outs. 2 men on. Birch down 4 in the last half inning of play. This is exciting. Jenkins is loving it. Let's take a zoom on Jenkins. As I think there's going to be a pinch runner. Pinch runner, D? Yep. As John will stay there. No pinch runner. John, 2 singles. No pinch runner. Tobias on first base. John Burke at second base. Brings up Jackson Kirsten, coming in batting .294 on the season. The center fielder. Let's see what he could do. Jackson, Mackey, Milowitz. Next up to bat. Do they have a run in them? A pitching change. This could be pivotal. Number 21, the left fielder will enter. A great showing by the pitcher Ian for LREI. So far in warm-ups, he looks good. Jackson. Which will mean a new left fielder for LREI, as D will be in the way a little bit, but it's okay. As that's a strike. 0-1 for Jackson. Smacked! And that's a base hit! And that'll load the bases. Tying run up to bat for Birch. And that tying run is Mackey Savage. Does Mackey have some Savage in him? Hugo is warming up in the bullpen. That's upstairs. No outs. Bases loaded for Mackey Savage. That's a strike. 1-1. Is there a rally brewing? Swung on and missed early for Savage. Milowitz and Kaplan both up respectively next. And Mackey strikes out to the displeasure of himself. Milowitz trying to avoid a double play. 4-0. Bases loaded, and that's low. Bases are loaded. That's swung on and hit the tree out of play. They're lucky it did. One hit could possibly score 2 runs, depending on where it's hit, and that's low. 2-1. That is low. 3-1. And that is upstairs. They're on the board here on Randall's Island. An RBI walk for Milowitz. That'll score John Burke. The score is 4-1. Andrew Kaplan, the man, the myth, the muscle. Does he have it in him? Bases are loaded once more. AK looking to score. That's a strike. 0-1 for Andrew. Tobias at third. Jackson Speed at second. As that's smoked by AK. Not happy with himself as they're down to their last out. Hugo. Can the Maggio man work his magic for the last time? Last out. 2 outs 4-1 LREI, bases loaded. Hugo! Hugo! They're going. Are they gonna tie it? No, he's safe! I think he was safe! But they call him out, and that's how the season ends. My heart has never felt so bad. An unbelievable hit by Hugo, as that ends the season. I have no words for what just transpired. What looked to be possibly the tying run turns into the final out. A great season, nonetheless, as LREI moves to Brooklyn for a championship game. Not sure who they're playing yet, as that is the game. A final score to 4-3 here at Randall's Island for the last time in my high school career. I'm William Rosen. Take care. An unfortunate way to go out as Birch goes down 4-3, but a little more unfortunate. I don't get to go to Brooklyn. We don't get to go to Brooklyn, Coney Island, but a great season nonetheless for the BWL varsity baseball team, and a great season for all athletics at BWL. Basketball, baseball, tennis, golf. We didn't have hockey this year, but we had a great season nonetheless. And I'm very proud of what we accomplished. Myself, Jack Schur, John Burke, Harris Witten, Andrew Kaplan, Julian Kahn, Blake Feynman, and Preston Schuster. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who has helped me and has assisted us in creating something that I'm truly and deeply proud of. Mr. Jenkins, Mr. DiVittorio, Mr. Fisher, and Mr. Kuhn, alongside Mr. March. I couldn't have done this without you. Something that hopefully will last a legacy here and last for many more years to come. I'm upset. I had a great ride here. We had a great ride, everybody. And for my last call, I want to say thank you to everybody. For William Rosen, I'm William Rosen. Take care.